Don't ask me how this came into fashion. I really don't know. This is what became, it was this, and then your behind them out, it was the S look that was supposed to be great. And, and we refer to it as a pigeon front. Because you know pigeons, when they puff up, they have a big front. So this is what would be considered a pigeon front dress. And then again, their sleeves went down so that they weren't as high. And it was a whole different look. And this particular one, it's velvet. And they used a lot of just ribbons and a few edgings because they would just put more and more things together. In other words, this is a piece of tape that they would have put across it. They would add it and made, the tape goes up here through the crochet up in here. And there's, and on the sleeve. So they did, when they embellished things, they kind of made their own thing, did their own, you know, this is how many? 3 or 4 different widths. So that was how you made something look a little different. It didn't cost a lot more because you're just taking ribbons, pieces of material, and doing them over and over. Also, while I'm down here with her dress, if you look at the bottom of this is completely lined. And it's a really good example of when we look at thinking, oh, they're dragging their dresses around. What you would do is you would have velvet or something heavy on your hem, and it would stick out just an 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch. So when you were dragging on the ground, you're dragging this. So if something happened, like say the back or it got too used, you could just simply take it off. This little piece of material would come off. And sew another piece on to protect your hem. And here again, they still have the skirt having some gathers and stuff to it, but not as many. And what really cracks me up is when you look at these, when you make a dress like this, you don't do the waist until the end. So what you do is actually hem the dress first. That's how you get that beautiful, because they double, you know, fold it and turn up your hem. That's how you get that curve and things in it. So every time, these are always skirts, or if you took it off the dress, most of the dresses weren't attached. They were always tops and bottoms. You would take, and the very last thing you would do is take a string, put it around your waist, and then pull up and adjust it till it fit, you know, the pleats were the way you wanted it. Then it would be whip stitched onto a band. And I got this one piece skirt that had the band on it, but in the front the material was really, it had this really big band inside. You can tell that they turned over. The person that was last wore it was shorter than the other person, so they literally turned the material over and stitched onto the top of it and made your waist out of it. So you could not only change how your skirt was, you know, straight, flat, you could also rearrange it from the waist. So, and I can see that where hand-me-downs, somebody else changed the waist in. So we've got our pigeon here. Crocheting was very in at the time. Always have our handworks. And this one I want to show you now because it basically, once you put it on, is that same pigeon front. It kind of, and this took a day or two to make. I'm just thinking. And it's one of the first pieces I bought, and I used to wear it with a little black skirt because I was a docent. And so I wore it, it was no problem. I've washed it a couple of times. And no, it doesn't fit me anymore, but there was a day that this did fit me. Another.
Is that also from the 1900s?
Yes, it's the same. We're going along here. Looking for something. I was going to show you Black skirt here. It's not a black skirt. There it is. I'm sorry, I'm dealing with black. Most of the things are black. I always wanted things that are colored. After we had this getting thinner and thinner and thinner, at the turn of the century, and it's hard because things overlap, so I mean, it's 1910, 1915, you know, 1898, went to what we consider, it's kind of like a Gibson girl, and it was just a basic black skirt, kind of A-framed, we call it a walking skirt, had a little bit of, in the back, there might be a little teeny, small bustle in it, to make it a little more exciting. But this is the type of thing that if you weren't doing your daily chores like in these dresses, then you would be wearing a skirt and a blouse. And if you look at any of the old pictures that we have over at the museum, they're always the skirt, the white blouse, and the hat. Now, let's see. Give me the blue hat again. Work on it. But anyway, it was the hat, the black, and probably some little black boots there, which we'd seen before. These, even though there's a lot of strings and a lot of eyes, and they're still easier to put on than the have to use the little shoe buttoner.